How's it going, you guys? It's Scott with Everyday Home Repairs, and today I'm going to walk you through a complete DIY lawn renovation. I'm taking half of my lawn and it is a complete wreck. I have crabgrass all over, thistles, dandelions, and a ton of other weeds, and I just want to start fresh and build that back up, getting rid of all the weeds and making my lawn look great. Now this is going to be a multi-week process and a lot of different steps along the way. So Jesse over at Lawn Life YouTube channel will be kind of consulting us along the way, giving us some tips from a true pro compared to a complete DIYer like me. And then at the end, I want to bring all that together in a one-pager with the timeline and steps that you would need to do if you want to replicate this at your own house, so you can put it on your refrigerator and just have a really easy guide to walk you through the complete renovation process. So let's jump into it. So starting off, because we're going to do a complete kill of this lawn, you want to cut your grass down to the lowest level possible with your mower. You would not usually do this because it leads to burning up your grass, but in this case, we want to burn and kill up our grass and all the weeds, so chop it as low as possible. And then if you butt up with your neighbors, I use two different stakes and a string line to indicate that property line, and you'll see how I reference this here in a minute. And I'm going to use Roundup to kill everything, the grass and all the weeds, and I mixed 3 different concentrations to show you the different results. The first one was 3 ounces per gallon, then I used 6 ounces per gallon, and then I sprayed part at 9 ounces a gallon. So you can see how much better, or does it even make a difference in terms of how much it kills. These other stakes are indicating an area, and that area is 600 square feet of lawn. That should be the right application rate for 2 gallons, which is the amount I can fit in my sprayer. And I use this plywood right along that string to get a clean line to make sure I don't spray my neighbor's lawn and kill that off. And then I just go back and forth. Of course, you could get a backpack sprayer or maybe some type of boom sprayer, which would make quicker work, but I already have my 2-gallon sprayer, so I'm just going to use that for this lawn. And then I go back and forth, continuing to move those stakes. I end up using 16 total gallons for 5,600 square feet. I found that 5,600 square feet by using Google Earth and just setting polygons around my yard, which gave me the exact acreage, which I could convert to square feet, and then know about how many gallons should I be using. 16 was a little light, but not too bad. So here are the results. After 1 day, you can see my neighbor's lawn compared to my lawn that we applied, and this is 2 days. So we're really starting to see things yellow up even after 48 hours. Now, when it came to the rate that I applied on this lawn, it was consistent. I was trying to do 1 gallon covering 300 square feet. And that's why I'd had those little stakes that marked off 600 square feet, because my sprayer would hold 2 gallons. Now, this concentration through this section was 3 ounces per gallon, so 3 ounces of Roundup per gallon. It did good on the crabgrass. This is 3 days in, so we're not all the way there. You should let for about 5 to 7 days to really see the results. But back in this section, even at 3 days, I'm probably gonna reapply at a 6 ounces per gallon, as most of this clover and grass in this section, which gets a little bit more shade during the daytime, is not dying off at the same rate as we're seeing up front here. So remember, 3 ounces per gallon. I think it's gonna do the job when we get to the 5 to 7 days, as we're only 3 days. You can see a little striping there. We'll see if that evens out. Then once we start getting over to the 6 ounces per gallon in this section, it is doing a little better job at not only the crabgrass getting knocked out, but also the grass itself. The grass itself is greener, but you can see it is starting to turn, and I would say after 5 to 7 days, that is gonna be killing down to the root, where we'll start to dethatch and pull all this material off the lawn. Now, our last application was in the strip over here, which was at 9 ounces per gallon. Again, it's doing a really good job killing everything off. So my recommendation to you, 3 ounces per gallon is too light. I would do at least 6 ounces per gallon. If you wanted to go a little bit heavier, you can go with this 9, but I'm gonna just do 6 ounces per gallon for any future projects. Now, believe it or not, you're going to be watering the lawn throughout the 5 to 7 days to kill your lawn. So I waited 24 hours after applying the Roundup, and then I started to water my lawn. I'm using a combination of Melinor's Mini Max sprinklers for my long narrow sections, and then just classic impulse sprinklers, 3 of those to get the coverage on the rest of my lawn. Now the way I make this much easier to manage, I just have timers from Melinor. I have a 2-zone timer on one side of my house and then a 4-zone timer where I'm using 3 of those on the other side of the house. And then those are set to morning watering for 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, and then also 15 to 20 minutes at night. What we're trying to do is actually water and have any of the weeds that did not get killed, or even grass that did not get killed, to actually green up and grow during this process, so it makes it easy to identify so we can reapply Roundup if needed to get a full kill on this lawn. And then also 7 days in, I did 1 round of dethatching with my Greenworks plug-in dethatcher, and then I just raked up any of the dead grass and bagged it. I got 5 bags, yard bags of grass off the lawn, and you can see how this Greenworks operates here. It just has that drum with the small tines that will spin around and work the dead grass off of your lawn, freeing up the soil, and then it just lays it on the top so it's easy for you to go back through, rake that up, and then bag the dead grass. So fast forward another 6 days, we're 13 days in, and I did 1 additional spot spray with Roundup at 6 ounces per gallon concentration, and I used another 2 gallons. That's comparing to the original 16 gallons to get the full kill. And now I want to do a really good cleanup of all the dead grass, and unfortunately my smaller Greenworks dethatcher probably not going to do it. So I had to step it up with a rental from Home Depot. This is a power rake. It's very similar, just the tines are an entirely different level of robustness, and it will cut into not only the soil and then pull all that material up. Just be warned, you're gonna have a lot of raking to do after this because it's gonna pull up a ton more material, but that's gonna set you up nicely, really opening that soil and getting ready for starting to fertilize and seed. So I'm gonna jump into it and you'll see right away the dramatic amount more of material that we're pulling off with this level of machine compared to the Greenworks. So you'll start off, and here is real time. This is about the speed, and the drum will want to pull you forward, and that will depend on the depth of the cut. The deeper the cut, the faster it will want to pull you forward. So I just go side to side this long ways, back and forth with a little bit of overlap. And then actually once I'm done with this, but I won't show it on camera, I actually go the other direction, 90 degrees, and I go perpendicular to these lines. So I do 2 full passes there, and then I start to rake that up. Again, this is going to be a lot of material, so just be warned, if you're bagging this material, depending on how many square feet you're working with, I have about 5,500 square feet here, and I almost filled up this entire 7x14 dump trailer with thatch and debris. And here is, remember what we were facing before, all that extra thatch. And here's after. You're much more open to your soil. That's going to give your grass seed a better shot. And you see as we back out, a lot of soil's opened up. Now, before you start seeding, I will say, here's a perfect time to make any adjustments to your lawn. So if you need to level anything out, fill some things up with some dirt, or cut things down, maybe do some edging on your sidewalks, or like I did, I took this time to put a full irrigation system so I would have sprinklers in my lawn and be ready to water this new seed. I went with Irrigreen, and I went with a smart sprinkler system where I installed 1-inch PVC throughout my lawn, and then to cover my 5,500 square feet, all I needed was 4 smart sprinkler heads that then tied back into their smart controller. Now, if you need more direction, I'll put a link in the description on that full installation, but this is the perfect time to do those type of projects. So I don't recommend just going with a broadcast spreader to put your seed on this bare dirt, because I have most of the vegetation off my lawn now. I would go with something like this slit seeder behind me that I rented from Home Depot. It makes quick work of this, and then it actually puts slits or grooves into the soil so the seed really has something to go into. And we'll be putting fertilizer and some kind of top cover on, but it gives that much more of a chance for those seeds to get settled, germinate, and for you to start growing that new grass. Now, when it comes to grass seed, you have a lot of options, and I teamed up with Jesse over at Lawn Life, who has his own type of grass seed, which is some of the darkest green on the market. Specifically, I'm going with the Fescue. It's going to take a little bit longer to germinate, but it should have a little more drought resistance. So those long summer months where we're not getting as much rain, hopefully my lawn can hold up a little bit better with less water. Now, if you need a little guidance on what seed you should go with, you can go to the link in the description, and that goes to Jesse's website with a little chart that will give you guidance more on your area of the country and the type of lawn and shade that you're dealing with. And then if you need even more guidance, there is a contact through the website to Jesse, and he'd be happy to help you out. Don't forget, there is a promo code down there if you're looking to get grass seed, and you can save 10% on the Lawn Life grass seed for your own projects. And this is the perfect time of year, kind of late summer going into fall, to take on those projects. All right, we'll start up the slit seeder going left to right. I'll do a complete pass left to right, and then I'll also be doing perpendicular to that. So it'll be 2 passes across the lawn. You'll set your depth. You want it to cut in. You don't have to go too far and bog down the engine, but you want it to have a pretty good cut so your seeds go somewhere. And then adjust your application dial here. There's a chart that gives you guidance. Remember, I'm going for about 12 pounds or a little more per 1,000 square feet. So there is my second pass, kind of going back and forth, perpendicular. So if you do 2 passes, which you should, remember, set your application to half. I couldn't find one of these peat moss rollers, so I had to buy it off Amazon, and you'll see a link in the description. Pretty inexpensive, and it also showed up in 1 day. So this is key to get some kind of top cover on top, and that's going to be, for me, peat moss. So this is a 2.2 cubic foot bale, and I just apply it in there. You should probably apply it on the yard so you don't get it on your concrete, but I just started off here. Break it up a little bit, and then you'll start to apply that. And the peat moss, the actual supplier says to put down like a 1/2 inch, but obviously they're trying to sell peat moss. So I'm just trying to do a thin coating here to put a little top cover over the seeds, kind of protect them and give them the best shot. So usually what I was doing is down and back across my lawn, load it up with 1/2 a bag, and go back and forth. I purchased 11 2.2 cubic foot bales, and that went across my 5,500 square feet. So just for your reference, then I just did 1 pass on these, applying it down, and really getting the last step of the seeding completed before moving on to getting water on this lawn, which is a key step. So my plan of attack for watering for the first 7 to 10 days is just to water 3 times a day, in the morning, about 1 to 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and then the early evening. And just for a short period of time, I want to keep the surface damp during germination, trying to get those seeds to start up. So to be honest, I am a bit concerned with the irrigation sprinklers because they do put out a pretty strong stream. You would prefer to get a lighter mist, like those Mini Max by Melnor that we showed earlier in the video. I think those are more ideal during the germination phase, especially because we want to minimize washing the seed away. And if you have a strong stream, that could actually wash some spots out, and then you'd have to go back through once your germination starts and put down seed again and try to get it to establish. Then after the 7 to 10 days of germination, I'm going to back off to once a day, and then I'm going to actually start to go every other day with a larger amount of water, but we're really trying to build the roots of the grass down, and that might take multiple weeks depending on your soil type, the overall conditions outside. So I have about 3 to 4 weeks to really get this lawn established, but I also want to get the video out to you guys because at the late summer to early fall phase, this is a perfect time to do the full lawn renovation, or if you just want to do overseeding. So maybe you just want to work up that thatch, do the slit seeder and get more seed in the ground, and then start watering to get your lawn rejuvenated. So whether you're doing a full one like I'm doing, or you're just trying to get your lawn looking a lot better, now is a great time to do that. And I will keep you guys posted on my progress here and how it's coming in, if there's any issues, but make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the bell notification. Those updates will most likely be coming through what's called the community tab, where I can just post some pictures. I put polls out there as well, so you'll see those coming through so you can see how this project is progressing and if there's anything else I would do differently. I'm still working on that 1-pager that will give you the full schedule of how to do this, and you can reference your own, but you'll see that link also in the description so you can download it. Let me know if you have any feedback. Maybe you are an absolute pro and you saw a few things that I did wrong. Let me know, and if there's consensus, I will include that with the one-pager for the benefit of the viewers. Now, if you want to dive deeper into the Green sprinkler system that I installed here, you can check out this video right here. I'll walk you through that complete process, which is installing the 4 sprinkler heads here in the front of my lawn. And then if you want to see the results of that tall fescue grass seed that we're using here, and we got those from Jesse over at Lawn Life, you can check out this video right here where he'll show you the results once that actually greens up and you can see truly how dark green it comes in. So thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll catch you on one of those next videos. Take care.